Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Infotech. In this video we are going to discuss about interfaces in Go. So interfaces in Go are a bit different and it is a very interesting topic in GoLang. So basically, to understand what interfaces are, we are going to discuss about that with a code example. So if you want to know what an interface is, basically it is a type in GoLang. It is kind of like a definition. Basically it tries to define the functionalities of a particular object, or it tries to defines and describes the exact methods that some other type must have. So basically these are what interfaces are, and we will clearly understand with an code example. So that's what I like to do. So basically in GoLang you can represent an empty interface in this manner. Okay, so now let's not waste any time and let's start writing code to understand what are the interfaces in GoLang. Okay, so now first I'm going to create an interface. Okay, let's say we are having different types of storage units with us. So we have solid state drives, hard disks and all. So we'll try to understand this concept with interfaces. Now I'm going to simply define a storage interface. Okay, this storage interface can let's say it can perform a task called read data. So this storage interface can perform read data and write data, right? So your storage interfaces could be SSDs, HDDs and network attached storages and such things. Now we have your interface. So let's say you have your original disk. Okay, you can see it as SSD storage, and basically it's a simple struct. This SSD is having two properties. One is name of that SSD and that particular capacity of that disk. Okay, so now you are going to say if any struct is trying to implement these two methods, then this struct is set to say that it is going to satisfy the storage interface. If this SSD struct is said to have these two methods associated with it, then we can call the SSD struct as it is going to satisfy the storage struct. But how do you associate these two methods with SSD struct? Is simply you are going to create struct methods, right? Yeah, you can simply say if it should be SSD here. You can simply say if these two methods are associated with a particular struct, then this struct is said to have satisfied the storage interface. Okay, so in this read data, you can simply return a string of reading. You can use some normal text, so you can utilize your storage.name. Okay, now you can also similarly define the write data method. So your write data is going to be in this way. So this write data is going to take some data and it is going to return nothing, and you can simply print in case of write data. So you can say writing. So I have defined this SSD storage disk. Similarly, I am going to define the HDD struct. So I am going to fast forward it. It will be the same approach like how we define the SSD, but I'm trying to duplicate. I'm fast forwarding from here. Okay, now I have these two storage types. One is SSD and one is HDD, which is going to have two methods associated with, and we are going to say these two methods are satisfying the storage interface, because storage interface has read data and write data methods, and those two are associated with the two different structs, SSD and HDD. Now the main part is, let's say we are having we in the main function, let's create two disks. Okay, one is SSD and you are going to say the name of the SSD is Samsung, something like that, and the capacity of your SSD is, let's say it is 500 GB. it should be name here. And now let us define your hard disk drive. Name can be something like HP, capacity can be 1000. Now if I try to utilize the concept of interfaces, now let's say I have one method called operate storage unit. This is going to take the this interface, storage interface. Okay, this is going to take the type S of storage interface. Now if I am going to utilize those two methods which we defined in our interface, we can say s dot read data, and we can also use the interface to write data. Let's say we are writing some data or sample data. Okay, now to that operate storage method I'm going to pass the SSD and HDD drives. Because why? This operate storage unit accepts the storage interface, and now I'm passing these two structs SD and HDD for the same function, because SSD and HDD are satisfying the functionalities of storage interface because they have the read data and write data methods associated with that struct. So that is why we were able to reduce the boilerplate code. Now let me try to run this and see what is going to happen. Go run main.go. Yeah, so firstly for the SSD Samsung, reading data from Samsung, writing data to Samsung, reading data from HP, and writing data to HP. So yeah, so this is the main power of interfaces in GoLang. So basically with these interfaces in GoLang, these are very highly useful when you want to reduce the duplication or boilerplate code in your GoLang. So it basically makes it easier to use mocks instead of real objects in unit testing in GoLang. So it will also enforce you to decouple between different parts of your code base. So this much powerful are interfaces in GoLang. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video.